Hey everyone, this is Stu coming to you with a video. It's about 7:30 in the morning here in Miami, and I wanted to do a video. I've been thinking about this for the past couple of days, and I thought, I've got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about with the community, trying to work out what to do on webinars, what to do on videos. We've got lots of updates coming, and I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to do a video to touch base with everybody, more on a personal level than anything. So please don't expect to get too much out of this video, other than an update from me in terms of what I'm up to on a personal level, and I'll probably share some thoughts and some ideas with you. I've had lots of good conversations at the recent events, and I've been chatting to a few of you on Facebook, and I just thought, yeah, why not just update the SFM community on the world of Stuart Ross and what I'm up to. So as many of you know, I've spent a lot of time out here in the US, and my throat, I don't know if you can hear it or not, it's a lot better than it was. I did have a bit of a sore throat. I think I'm adjusting to all this air conditioning. But if I do sound a bit funny, I feel fine. I just think I think the aircon's taken its toll, and I'm getting used to it. But anyway, so I made the decision to move out to Miami a couple of months ago now, and I'm pleased to report it's gone very, very well. Actually, extremely delighted with my decision to move here. This is where I'm living, about 40 floors up, on the water here. It's very early in the morning, so it's not the best lighting to see, but you can probably imagine living on the ocean with this kind of view is pretty awesome if you like that kind of thing. I'm in Brickell, which is yeah, it's kind of like seen as the financial district, I suppose. It's getting a bit of a reputation as being the mini Manhattan. You'll see Bank of America literally behind me here, which is kind of the main view from my bedroom. Yeah, I'll just walk you around. So this is Brickell. Welcome to Brickell. These are, mainly condos and I suppose commercial or financial companies, businesses. You've got the Mandarin Oriental Hotel down here on Brickell Key, and yeah, what can I say? I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm absolutely delighted with moving here. And the funny thing is I've been looking to move for ages. I'm sick and tired, as many of you know, of the British weather. I'm always living not just a laptop lifestyle, but a suitcase lifestyle, and I was just getting a bit fed up with it. And no, I'm not complaining. Living the laptop lifestyle, traveling around the world isn't too bad. But I've been doing it a long time now, and I'm just getting sick and tired of packing and unpacking and flying all the time, and I am not ever going to complain about it. I will always continue to travel, but I had this itch, I suppose, this burning desire, much like I talk about when I wanted to quit my job, to find a base where I could just call home, and this is where I've landed, and we'll see how it goes. So far so good, let's say that. And one of the things I will say, because I said I would share some thoughts with you, is I put Miami off, even on the list of places to live, for a couple of reasons. One reason, I'd only seen South Beach, which is actually behind this way, and I didn't want to live in the middle of party land, and 32 years old now, and maybe living on the beach where everyone passes every night is not really where I want to be right now. And the other thing is other people's opinions or views of Miami. So that's kind of the first thing I want to share with you. So I had asked a lot of my friends, mainly friends out here in America, like, what did they think of Miami? And it was always, to be honest with you, pretty negative. Not terrible, but just, lots of opinions, I suppose. And so I never really spent any realistic time out here to view it. Then I actually made friends with an Irish couple, a husband and wife, and I met them in New York, just out in New York when I was out with friends, and I was chatting to them, and they live actually they live in Brickell Key. They live actually over on this bit of land here near the hotel, and I was chatting to them, and they told me about this area. They told me about Brickell, and in their words, it's been up and coming for a long time. And so I thought, I'm going to come down and check it out. I was going to be in Miami anyway, and I just got this real feeling of like, wow, I could really live here for a while. Maybe not forever, but for a while. And then I started checking out, the condos here, the space you get, the views, and I honestly, yeah, immediately knew that this was somewhere that I should seriously consider, and you know, obviously I did that, and hence why I'm here. So delighted to be in Miami now. You'll be seeing a lot of my videos and webinars and everything else coming from probably here. I've been working out on this balcony a lot, although I'm using a slower internet connection at the moment. So also when I've got to do stuff right now until I get my proper internet connection, I've been working down on the deck where I tend to have my coffee, and is part of my morning ritual, in fact, where I do my emails. I'll probably show you actually, and go from there. So anyway, talking of morning rituals, it's time for me to go and grab breakfast. I like to get breakfast before 8 o'clock in the morning, ideally, and that means we're running out of time. So little walk, and yeah, let's pick up from there and just see where we go. I've got no idea. I haven't really got a plan for this video other than just to touch base with you guys. So see you very soon. Alright, so I've just had breakfast, and believe it or not, it's been raining, it's windy, it's not cold, which is a good thing, but it doesn't exactly prove my point for picking Miami with regards to the weather. But to be fair, it's probably the first time it's rained in the morning that I can remember, in the past few weeks anyway. Now, I wanted to pick up, add some clarity to what I was saying before, about, you know, holding off, you know, looking at Miami and it not being on the cards, because there's actually, I guess, a lesson in that, which I've learned many times over, in many areas of my life, not just moving. In fact, moving is probably something that we don't do frequently, so in other areas of my life all the time. And what it is it's really about this whole idea of looking for opinions and reassurance a lot in life. You see, it's natural for us whenever we want to do something, particularly if it's a bold decision, starting a business, getting into a relationship, exiting a relationship, you know, moving or traveling and things like that. It's often, you know, we look for reassurance, we look for opinions, we look for maybe advice. And although I think there's nothing wrong with that, I just want to tell you that as an entrepreneur in my life, and not just in business, but just me being me, living my life, building my laptop lifestyle, being happy, and just, you know, a lot of things I've had to do have been bold decisions, and the reality is nearly every brilliant decision that I've made have been decisions that I've come about on my own, through my own gut instinct, and just running with it and committing to it. And going back to what I was saying, like, you know, I held off even considering Miami because of other people's opinions, because, you know, I remember about a year and a half ago having a conversation with some friends about Miami, and, you know, what it would be like to live, and, you know, they gave a view on it, and I just based on their opinion kind of wrote it off, I suppose. And I think, you know, here's a prime example. A lot of people form an opinion on maybe one area, like the touristy areas, maybe South Beach or something. And, you know, if it hadn't been for me meeting this couple, this Irish couple, and coming and checking out Brickell in particular itself, I, you know, God knows, I'll probably still be in England right now. So without a doubt, you know, other people's guidance, advice and opinions, you know, can be very helpful, but at the same time, they can be quite destructive. You know, a lot of people, when they start a business, as an example, take your online venture, you know, we look for that reassurance. We talk to friends, we talk to family, we look for opinions, we look for reviews online. Same with when we're traveling, we go onto things like TripAdvisor. And it's very, very easy to be knocked back or disheartened, or not follow through, or not even try something out based on what other people are saying. And I just really want to stress this point, because, like I was saying, you know, all of the best decisions I've made in my life today have been bold decisions, and they've been ones that really I've made on my own through gut instinct, getting into relationships, business and personal, getting out of relationships, business and personal. Places that I've traveled to see, you know, how many times people have told me, you've got to go to this place, it's amazing, and I've got there and it's just not been my kind of thing. You know, the same with going to restaurants, eating out, bars, atmospheres. So often we hear like, oh, this is amazing, this is the place to be, this is where it's at. And you get there and it's kind of like, oh, you know, it's a little bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a disappointment at times. And I remember, you know, a little while back going to San Diego. Before I'd got to San Diego, I was ready to move there, just based on people's opinions, just based on what I had heard. And I got there, and as much as I loved it, it didn't feel like somewhere that I wanted to settle down. It did none of it that I saw. And I don't say that I saw it all, but none of what I saw, the people that I met, really made me want to sort of move there. When I came to Brickell, I actually loved the cosmopolitan side to it. You know, a lot of people said, oh, it's very cosmopolitan, you know, a lot of Spanish people, you know, this, that and the other. Again, all of these opinions. I actually really like it. I was at dinner the other night, French, Italian, American, English, Swedish, you know, around at dinner, and it was it's a meal I'll never forget. It was, you know, it was awesome, just driven people with all different backgrounds, and to me, I love that, you know, and some people don't. So the first thought, I said this is going to be a personal video to share some thoughts. The first thought I want to really stress is that never underestimate your own decision-making skills. Your gut instinct is much more powerful than you think. People who live normal lives follow advice of normal people. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but if you want to live like, you know, other people don't live, if you want to create that laptop lifestyle, if you want to create that business that allows you to live life on your own terms, if you want to have the best relationships, if you want to, you know, be happy, the happiest of your potential, in my experience, and I don't profess to be a guru on all this stuff, but in my experience, the best things that have come around in my life have been purely based on a lot of random stuff, on my own gut instinct and just getting stuck in and committing. You know, because if we go into decisions, oh, I'm going to build an internet business, and we look for reassurance and we don't get that reassurance, and we're kind of like, oh, well, maybe I'll give it a go. You're not going to make it happen. It's the same as like when I was saying procrastinating about moving. You know, I want to move into a different location, and you know, but if I'd constantly looked for that reassurance, if I'd been waiting for someone to say, oh, you know, this is the perfect place to live and you've got to live there, and then I'd got there and then I'd looked for more reassurance and then discussed it with friends and family, I'd have never done it. I'd have never moved here, and it's, you know, right now at this point I can say it's one of the best decisions I've made in a very, very long time. So that's the first thought of the video, and now I'm going to move on to get something else that I like to do in my morning ritual, which is my juicing. So I found an awesome juice bar just at the back of where I'm living now, and head over there and see what thoughts I've got and carry on with the video. See you very soon. Okay, so here we are, pit stop number 2. I've just finished my green juice, which I picked up from the juicery bar, which is actually just around the corner from here. And I like to pick it up and come and perch myself here on the water. This is the bridge that I've just crossed now by foot, and this is the tower that I've actually moved into up here, up the top here. That's the hotel that I think I pointed out earlier. So we're just on this little plot of land here called Brickell Quay. I think it's like triangular shaped, not very big, and there's some nice little restaurants and things there. But I wanted to share another thought with you, and I think now's a good time to do it, considering I've just had my juice. And it's going to be one of those thoughts that for some of you could make a big difference. It's a small thought, but it could make a real big difference to not just building your business, but generally speaking, life in general. And I want to talk to you about the importance of learning how to manage your state of mind. Now, over the years, I've been lucky enough to make a lot of really good friends, and many of them who I would class as highly successful in life, not just financially, in life. And you know, one of the things that I know they all have in common is very, very good individuals when it comes to controlling their state of mind. They do not accept bad days. You know, the reality is we all get out of side of bed, the wrong side of bed sometimes. We all have good and bad days, but a lot of people just go with the flow. A lot of people just accept, you know, their day is going to be their day. Maybe it will be good, maybe it won't. If it's a good day, great. If it's a bad day, you know, it's another one of those bad days. And that's just not the right attitude if you want to, you know, really create your ultimate life. And I really can't stress that enough. So going back to this idea of managing a state of mind, there are a lot of different ways that we can do it. But the first thing that we need to get good at is recognizing patterns. Recognizing and being aware of our feelings. Not just drifting, I suppose, which we all see so many people do. And you know, you want to make sure that you start every single day, in my opinion, as best as you possibly can. And there is no better way of doing that than practicing a morning ritual. And I talk about this a lot. I've talked about it a lot in Momentum Days. I've shared over the years many different rituals of mine. So I thought the phone was about to cut out then. Let's talk about that. So For me, just as an example, now I'm in Miami, it's not too different to what I was doing in the UK, just it involves being outside more. But I'll get up in the morning, drink a bottle of water first thing. It's really important to hydrate. I'll go and sit out the front, and then I'll just spend 10 minutes like chilling out. You know, I just, rather than jumping straight in the shower or you know, starting my day, I like to have 10 minutes, regardless of how early my start is, whether I've got an event or I've got to get up. I'll make sure I set my alarm to give me the time to do all of this stuff every day, because it's so important. And then, you know, I'll just practice feeling grateful every day. Now, the way that I started that is I used to write a list of 5 things every single morning. I did it for about 4 months straight, that I was grateful for the day before. And, you know, it could be the smallest of things. Conversations I had, compliments I made, making somebody feel better, somebody making me feel better. Like I said, conversations with people I care about, conversations with complete strangers, nice food, nice meals, nice things that I've done, things like this, seeing the dolphins. I don't know if you can see that, but sorry, I just had to show you that because it's just so cool. You know, just, there we go. You know, just being sat here right now with the dolphins, there's iguanas over there. You know, so it doesn't have to be like, oh, I went out on my friend's boat, or, you know, I bought a new car. It really can be, you know, the smallest things that we look for. And for me, one of the things that is really great about practicing gratitude is that I promise you it's going to make you feel happier. Even if you would class yourself as a happy person, if you don't do this, if you start doing it, regardless of where you would on a scale of 10 suggest you are in terms of happiness, it's going to make you more happy, and I think that we all want that. But the other thing is what it's going to do is it's going to start creating your day in a way that you're going to attract a lot more of the things that you're grateful for, you know. So if it is about conversations, if it is about experiences, the reason it works so well is when we practice what we're grateful for, we make a mental note of it, we're aware, and we just do more of it, or we get more of it, or we attract more of it. You're just going to have a much better day. So I really highly recommend that. If it's something that you're brand new to, and you would say that, if you're honest, like I was with myself, that maybe you're not grateful enough, you know, then I really would suggest you start for several months writing it down every single morning. I really mean that. But anyway, moving on, then what I do is I go out and I head out and I have my healthy breakfast. You know, at the moment I'm trying to increase my protein intake because I'm trying to improve my fitness. And then what I'll do is I'll come here and I'll have my juice, and honestly, like, I just sit down here and do nothing. It takes me 5-10 minutes to drink my drink, just soak in the atmosphere. You know, at home when I was in England, I'd go for a walk every single morning without fail. Even if it was raining, I'd take out the umbrella. And you know, that's just how I'd like to start my day. And then what I do is I go up to the deck, I might show you that in a minute, and actually get my emails done. I'll talk about emails on another thought in a minute. And then I'll go and have a workout, do my emails first just in case anything urgent. I'll go and have my workout, you know, just make sure that I'm feeling energized, and then I'll start my day and I'm really ready to take on my day. Now, everything that I'm sharing with you, and I'll also have my headphones on and I'll listen to music that really pumps me up. Everything I'm sharing with you is stuff that I do because I know these are things that make me feel really good. Fueling my body with good food or good juice, getting some fresh air, getting out, being grateful. I know all of these things help me with my state of mind, because there are mornings I wake up, regardless of how good life can be or is, there are mornings I wake up and I just don't feel that inspired, or I just don't feel that that brilliant. You know, it does happen. It happens to all of us. And you know, by doing this and creating this habit of having a morning ritual, it makes such a profound difference in my life. It has made such a profound difference in my life. I wanted to share that thought with you. But just going back over what I was saying, I can't stress enough that, you know, of all the people that I respect from a success perspective, and for me, happiness is so important in success. It's not based just on financial. Yes, financial is part of success, but for me, there are a lot of people with money that aren't happy. There are a lot of people with money that I would not want to be. There are many people I've met with a lot more money than me, and I really would not trade places with them. You know, of all the people that I respect, most of them have morning rituals, but the one thing they all have is this ability to manage their state of mind. So what I'm going to ask you to do is really think about your mornings right now and be honest with yourself. You know, are you waking up? Are you being grateful? Are you getting a bit of exercise in? Are you moving your body? Are you fueling your body? Or are you just sort of drifting through, setting the alarms going off, going with the flow? You know, if you're in a good mood, great. If you're not, you're not. Because I tell you this now, Every single person watching this video right now can improve their mornings, every single person. And it will probably only take you 30 minutes or so to really think about the things that are important to you. Think about the fuel you're putting into your body. Think about how you're hydrating yourself when you get up. Thinking about, you know, are you, giving yourself enough time. If you start work at 7:30 in the morning, you might have to get up an hour earlier. You might have to go to bed a bit earlier. You might have to change a few things, but do not fall into the trap of creating excuses that, oh, I can't have a good morning because of this, because of that. I'll do it when I've built my business. Because I'll tell you now, folks, if you don't get this stuff right now, you probably won't ever build a successful business, because you're going to be in this vicious loop where people around you might start resenting you because, you know, you have no energy or time, or you're moody, or, you know, you're not a nice person to be around, or you might start to dislike yourself, or you might start to resent your business because, you know, you're not getting the results as quickly as you want. You're feeling, you know, stressed because of the amount of time that you're putting into your business, yet without the immediate results. You know, there's so many things that can happen, but state of mind, you should learn how to manage it throughout your day. One of the things that I do later on in the day, if I start feeling a little bit less motivated or a little bit less committed to my goals or a little bit down, is music. Like I was saying before, I don't just rely on it for the gym. I can play some tracks. I know what music gets me up and gets me into a good mood, depending on the mood that I'm in. I've got a very wide range of music, but I know by doing that, it really makes me feel better. Just paying someone a compliment, smiling at someone, all of these things you've got to be aware of rather than just drifting. So that's the second thought of the day, completely different to the first one. As I said, this is going to be the most random Stuart Ross video that I've done, because I'm just kind of going with the flow. I'm going to head back and we'll probably jump onto the deck. I've got to actually get onto my emails, and then we'll pick it up from there. See you very soon. Alright, so pit stop number 3, which really brings me on to, I suppose, my final thought of the day. And this is where I do my emails. So I just come down here with the laptop and work my way through email. With it being a Monday, probably take me about 90 minutes. Every other day it takes me between 30 minutes and an hour usually. And it really brings me on to another thought that I want to talk about, which is with regard to just technology, which is extremely relevant for us marketers or people building online businesses on, you know, Blackberries or iPhones, iPads, you know, MacBook Pros, laptops, whatever. And you know, one of the things that we've got to be very, very careful of, all of us in this new digital world that we live in, is that we don't become a slave to our devices. And what I mean most specifically is that, you know, technology can be a real distraction. It can really take away a lot of our time, steal our time. The amount of people that are on their phones constantly, on their laptops all the time, slaves to their email, you know, it's not good. It's really not good, certainly in my opinion, for a few reasons. Now, number one, and primarily probably the most important reason, is every time I've got into that routine or that habit, that bad habit of always being on my phone, always checking my email, checking Facebook, I rarely am living in the present. You know, I'm rarely like really, you know, just enjoying the moment. You see it with people, you know, taking photos and video and everything else. And in my experience, just personally, that, you know, it's very difficult to really fully be present and enjoy the moment when we're being distracted by the photo, the video, Facebook, being on our email and everything else. There's a great video, if you look it up on YouTube at the moment, and it's called Look Up. Look Up, a great little short film that's been done. And it just really sums up, you know, the world that we live in today, and the amount of time people spend on their devices. So just from a perspective of well-being and feeling good and being in the present and happy, I think it's important. The real nugget, I suppose, I want to give you guys for the SFM community is that do not get into the bad habits of being on your email all day long, checking how many opt-ins you've got, how many leads you've got, you know, being at the service of others 24/7, being reactive. I absolutely do not check my email more than twice a day. There will be the odd exception if I'm waiting or looking for something important that I will do. And it's really important, because otherwise, really what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the opportunity to be at other people's beck and call. You know, they say that email is really is really other people's agendas, not our own. And it's so true. You know, when it comes to the actual, you know, money producing activities of building a business online, there is one rule that supersedes, sorry, the wind's picking up, but there is one rule that supersedes everything when it comes to getting results, and it supersedes lead generation, it supersedes any internet marketing tactics, it supersedes anything you're going to learn in any seminars or anything like that. And it comes down to the simple word of value, and more specifically providing value. And by being distracted by Facebook, making lots of friends on Facebook all day long, checking other people's updates and statuses, or being on your email all day long, getting back to people within 5 minutes because you think that's polite, or you think that's the thing to be done, is distracting you from actually being creative. And more specifically, you know, let's look at this as an example. I do not need to be online for any of what I'm doing this morning. For shooting this video, I do not need to be online. My camera works whether I'm online or not online. In terms of actually editing this video, again, I don't need to be online. Think about it in other areas: writing blog posts, creating value. You know, so much of what can be done that's important when it comes to actually building a business can be done without being connected to the internet. And I think that because we're seen as marketers, or online marketers, digital marketers, internet marketers, we assume that that means we've got to be connected all the time, we've got to be on the internet all the time, and it's just not true. And in fact, I find that the times that I'm least creative, the times that I create less value, are the times that I'm, you know, obsessed with being online. And the times where I really make a biggest impact on the business is picking up the phone, speaking to the team, in our instance with the staff. Often it will be Skype, so yeah, I mean, I'm online, but I'm not necessarily, you know, just being distracted by technology in terms of other people's agendas, email, Facebook, and everything else. So the point I want to make really is, you know, ask yourself this question, you know, are you a bit of an addict to the internet? Are you wasting a lot of time? Are you not living in the present? Are you not being creative because you're constantly being reactive? Are you obsessed with your inbox, your emails? Are you, you know, always monitoring things that can be monitored twice a day rather than 200 times a day? And then start to think about how you can disconnect and how you can use that time wisely to read powerful books, to maybe listen to powerful audio, to maybe incorporate some rituals like I've been talking about to put you in a better frame of mind, to manage your state of mind better. I believe that, you know, anybody can build a business in this digital economy, working online, I mean physically, literally online, with just 2 to 3 hours a day, and they can operate a full-time business. Now, yes, you're going to be working more than that in most instances, but it doesn't mean that you're necessarily, working and connected to the internet all the time. If I was to summarize it for most marketers, particularly affiliate marketers, the time online should be spent doing lead generation and distributing the value that you're creating in your creative space. You know, if you're doing video marketing, of course you're going to want a platform to distribute that. That's where Facebook and social media, sending out emails to your lists is incredibly valuable. Of course, placing ads, you know, whether you're learning and to do advertising and marketing, Facebook advertising, social media, whether you're learning how to do media buys, banner advertising, or anything like that. Of course, this is time that's going to be spent online, but it's all stuff that can be realistically done in just an hour or two, or maybe 3 hours a day. And if you're just staring at your screen, being distracted on YouTube, being distracted on Facebook, going from video to video, post to post, like to like, you have to ask yourself how much time are you stealing away from the stuff that really matters. And again, it just brings me back to that thought of, you know, are you being creative and providing value? Write your blog posts offline, disconnect. You know, shoot your videos offline. You don't need to be online. Read books, switch down, you know, turn off the laptop, turn off the phone. When you're spending time with family and friends, my advice is just, you know, just from my own experience, is switch them off. You know, turn off your devices. You don't need to take your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your husband or your wife out for dinner and pull out your phone and to check your text message from your mate about the football, or, you know, to hear from your boss even. You know, if it's 8 o'clock at night, it's your time. you know, that's maybe not the same for everyone. Maybe you work a job where it's not a choice, but for most of us it is a choice. And I think it's really important that we do not create bad habits, because it is, again, I'll use the term vicious circle, a vicious cycle, where it ends up making us in reactive space, very much so, and not in the present. So that's kind of it. You know, this is my thoughts of the day. I haven't done my emails yet. I'm going to jump on my emails, and then to wrap up my day, or my morning, sorry, I'm going to be heading into the gym. It's a little bit later for me than usual because I've been shooting the videos, taking a bit longer than what I would normally do. And then, you know, I'm going to start my day. I'm going to jump on, do some team calls and check in with the guys, and working on some really exciting stuff at the moment for the community. Everything from adding more value to you guys, improving the membership, through to conversion rates, and you know, to increase commissions and sales statistics and conversion rates, sorry, as I was saying before. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. Keep an eye on your inbox. I'm going to be shooting out some videos to do with the community, the membership, the site, some updates. Jump onto the founders call. It's this Thursday. I don't know what date that's going to be, but you know, it's Monday the 2nd of June now, so whatever this Thursday is, the founders call. I think Jay and I will probably be just about in London for the gold and platinum event. And for those of you who are going to be there, cannot wait to meet you, especially if it's for the first time. Looking forward to shaking your hands and having a conversation with you guys and helping you reach your digital empire goals that you're all working towards. And mark my words, it is worth it. It's so worth it. Life on your own terms, chilling out here on the deck. It's very easy for me to say that right now. Is good. You know, it's well worth the effort. Keep it up, and look forward to seeing you all very soon on the calls. Take care.